Hi everyone, my name is Ruth and I work at the Butler County Farm Bureau. And today we're going to talk about the beef animals. Flat Aggie's here with me today and she's going to help me show you the difference in cows. When we talk about a milk cow, that's the big white cows that have blotches of black on them. They give a lot of milk, and that milk is sold so we can buy it in the grocery store. But today we're going to talk about a beef animal. This is the animal that we get our hamburger from, we get our steaks from, we get a lot of the meat products that we like. These beef animals are the ones that you see when you drive down the road, and in a pasture there's probably a cow and she's given birth in the spring to a little calf, and that calf stays with her all year, and she gives just enough milk to feed that calf. She doesn't give enough milk to be milked and sold. So we're going to talk about My Family's Beef Farm. It's written by Katie Olthoff. Hi, I'm Cecilia. This is my mom, my dad, brother, and sister. We live and work together on our family farm. And the Rowan family, they live in central Iowa. That's where we live, okay? Farmers grow food. They always work hard to care for the land and the livestock, so that means the animals. On our farm, we raise corn, soybeans, and beef cattle. We also have a dog, 3 ponies, and 2 horses. So Iowa is a home to more than 26,000 cattle farms. So there's 26,000 farms that will raise the cattle. 97% of the farmers in the U.S. are family farms. So that means that their whole family has work that they do on the farm. Cattle are important to my family. My great-great-great-grandpa was a farmer. He taught my great-great-grandpa how to care for the land and the animals. Then my great-great-grandpa taught my great-grandpa, who taught Grandpa Glenn taught my dad, and my dad is teaching my brothers, my sister, and me. So that farm has been in their family for a long, long time, hasn't it? Some of the cattle are born on my grandpa's cow-calf farm. He has 100 mama cows who live out there in the pasture. There's plenty of fresh grass for all the cattle to eat and water for them to drink. So they make sure that the cattle have feed and they have water, don't they? Pasture, this area here, is just a bunch of grass. Cows eat grass, don't they? Every year, the cows have a baby then is called a calf. The calves are born in the pasture. Here's the calf having a drink of milk. Most of the time the calves are born on their own, but when the farmer is expecting calves, he normally checks on his cows every 2 or 3 hours in case they need help. A new calf weighs about 70 pounds. It can walk in an hour after it is born. The calf stays with its mom for about 6 months, so that means all summer. The calf drinks her milk and learns to eat the grass with her. An average calf weighs 70 pounds when it's born. An average 3rd grader weighs between 50 and 60 pounds, so that's about the same size, isn't it? Grandpa moves the cows and calves from one part of the pasture to another about once a week. This way, they can have fresh grass every week, can't they? He also checks on them several times a week to make sure that they are healthy. Farmers want to use the land efficiently. That's why they rotate the animals around. When the calves are about 6 months old, they begin eating more grass and grain. So in the fall, they are 6 months old and they are weaned or taken away from their mothers, and they're put on a lot, just like the picture is here. and they learn to eat more than just grass and have their mother's milk. They will begin eating grain, and grain is corn, isn't it? The cattle are beef cattle, and they're raised for their meat. Cattle eat grass and most of their lives. People can't eat grass, but cows can. They eat food that we can't eat because then it is turned into yummy beef for us, isn't it? The cows are animals that eat grass. They have a rumen, or 4 compartments in their stomach that help them to digest the grass. We only have 1 stomach, so we can't eat grass, can we? There are many different ways to raise a cattle. Some cattle live on pasture for their whole lives, and other cattle move to the feed yards. There they live in open lots or barns. When Grandpa's calves are about 550 pounds, they move to the feed yard on our farm. No matter where the cattle are raised, the farmers like my dad and Grandpa take care of them every day. Farmers are dedicated to the care of their livestock. Whether it's New Year's Day or the 4th of July, farmers will be working and taking care of the animals without a day off. Even in a blizzard or a thunderstorm, they will take care of their animals. Every morning we get up early to feed our cattle. These 3 calves belong to my brother, my sister, and me. We take care of them. In the summer we take them to the county fair. Most of our cattle live in open yards or barns. The cattle get vaccines to help them stay healthy, just like my brother, my sister, and I do. And so when you're a baby, a lot of times you will get vaccinated and get some shots, and that helps you grow healthier, doesn't it? Well, that's the same thing that they do with the cattle. If the cattle get sick, Dad and Grandpa work with a veterinarian to help them stay healthy again. So the cattle have a veterinarian. Sometimes they call him a vet. And that's just a doctor that comes and takes care of the animals, isn't it? Cattle may receive antibiotics when they are sick. The antibiotics do not affect the quality or the safety of the meat that we eat. We grow corn to feed our cattle. They love the corn and grow quickly when they eat it. Dana uses a special feed recipe and mixes the corn with other ingredients. He changes the recipe as the cattle grow. So it's just like when we were a baby and firstborn, we just drank milk. And then we soon began to eat softer foods, and then we began to eat hamburgers and french fries and other things. So we had different levels of and different kinds of food that we ate. Well, that's the same thing with the cattle. They have to mix the feed for different types or different ages that the cattle are in so that they grow correctly. We recycle the cattle manure to fertilize the fields. See how they take it out in a manure spreader and they fertilize the fields. Then the fields grow more corn for next year. The calves come to our farm when they are about 6 months old. We said about 550 pounds, didn't we? They stay here for about 200 days. Dad feeds them once a day, checks on them 2 more times each day. Dad makes sure that the cattle are healthy and comfortable. A careful balance of nutrients in their diet helps them develop with the nutrients and changes that the cattle grow, as the cattle grow. When the cattle weigh about 1,300 pounds, we sell them. They are made into beef and other things that we use each day. So more than 1,000 quarter-pound hamburgers can be made from this 1,300-pound steer. And there are steaks, and there are ribs, and there are roast. There are 38 cuts of meats. Did you know that footballs are made from a cow's hide? That's their skin. That their skin is leather, and that's what footballs and mitts, gloves are made of, aren't they? Lipstick and glue have ingredients from the cattle too. But the best thing that comes from the beef, from the cattle, is beef. My brother loves hamburgers. My sister and I love sloppy joes. Mom and Dad likes steak with or potatoes. When I grow up, I want to be a veterinarian. I want to help care for the animals. But for now, I'm glad that I live on my family's beef farm. Here I get to help my family take care of the cattle every day. And do you know what? There's a lot of different jobs that the beef farm has. The people that take care of the animals, the vets, get a job. The people that mix the feed, maybe at the co-op, and they bring the feed out. The truck drivers, the semi-truck drivers that haul the animals to market. There's a lot of different jobs because that one family can't take care of all those animals by themselves. So they give jobs to other people in the area or in the town, and that helps the whole community, doesn't it? Well, we hope that you liked your visit to a beef farm today in my book. And we're going to add a few pictures at the end of this video again, like we have in the last couple, and you'll get to see some calves and some beef animals, maybe some that are on feed and the feedlots, and then you'll get to see how they grow and produce. I hope you had a good time today, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, today we're going to visit someone that has calves. And Flat Aggie is already talking to her about these babies that we have. Why don't you introduce yourself to us?
I am Jody Johnson. I'm the ag teacher at North Butler.
Okay, what have you got in this pen?
We have a cow-calf pair here. Little Peter was just born a couple days ago, and he is hanging out in this pen, bonding with Mom and making sure he's all right before he goes out to the yard with the rest of the herd.
Look at him jump. He's having a good day, isn't he?
He's putting on a show for you.
Okay, so when they're born, do you give them shots or vaccinate them or anything like that?
We don't. We'll vaccinate them when we wean them, and we'll give them wormer and all the things when we take them off Mom at about 6 months old.
Oh, okay.
So
well,
all we've done to him is we put a little iodine on his umbilical cord, and then we put a tag in his ear to tell us who he is.
Okay, so does his number correspond with his mother's, or how do you make sure that you know who he is?
Yeah, we try to match the first letter of their name with the mom. So Mom's name is Peaches, and so his name is Peter. And then the number on his tag is the day that he was born. So he was just born on Tuesday. And then the name at the top is what bull he was from. So that's his dad's name.
So you keep all your information right on his tag?
Yep.
So what if he loses a tag?
Well, then we have to put a new tag in.
But you can tell who he is, probably.
Yep. Typically we only have 1 or 2 loos at a time, and they are paired up with Mom still, so we can figure out who they are if they lose their tag.
Okay. Well, now I think we're going to look over here to the other side, and we're going to see one of the mothers that's pinned up, but she hasn't had anything yet. So
she is due any day now, so we've just got her penned up to watch her. We've actually got a camera system hooked up that we can watch her from our phones or from the room. We've got a big TV with all 9 cameras on it. So she's pin her up so that we can keep a close eye on her.
That's good. Good idea. So we're going to go outside and see more of the calves that are out in the lot.
Alright, so we also have this little area out here in the yard where the babies can kind of separate themselves. You can see that this is too short for the cows. So the babies come in here and have a place to relax and have some dry bedding. So that they can be away from Mom for a little bit and just hang out with the other calves.
Do you feed them then in there, or?
We will. As they get a little bit older, we'll put a creep feeder. Actually, we'll move this creep area outside and put our creep feeder outside. But yeah, we'll give them their own feed in a smaller bunk as they get bigger, and we start to move them off of Mom and onto feed instead of milk.
Here's all the mothers. Oh my. There's lots of them. That one is kind of worried about her baby and what we're doing to it. All right, Jody, now you can tell us about this animal.
Yeah, so this is Howie. He's our bull. So he's in here to be the dad to all these babies. Well, not all the babies, but if they don't settle from artificial insemination, then we can breed him with this bull, so that we know that there's going to be babies on the ground the next year.
Boy, is he big. He probably weighs about 2,000 pounds, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, all
We
of.
haven't weighed him since we bought him, but I'm sure he's getting up there.
Okay, and down here we have a lot more mothers. I'm going to kind of go around here, I hope. Here's one that's having babies, or having lunch, I should say. The baby's having lunch. And here, this little baby is sleeping with mom. This cow has two. So they normally have one calf. If they have one calf, it's a single. And this mother has two. So she probably would be, they'll be called twins, won't they?
Yep, and this is her other little baby stretching right here.
Right. Now these calves are about a month old, maybe? Or more.
Month and a half.
Yeah.
February 7th.
6, oh, during all that cold.
Yes, that's why they got their names Elsa and Anna, because
'cause of
they
the
were
cold.
born in that really, really cold, frigid weather.
Uh-huh. They're really cool.
Yep.
Well, Jody, I want to thank you for letting us come visit.
Yeah, not a problem.
And good luck with your teaching career at North Butler, and we'll probably see you again.
Thank you.
Bye. After the calves are weaned from their mothers, then they're taken and put into a feedlot. There's a lot of them. There's a building for them to get into. There's also feed runs in the middle of the buildings so that they can feed, water. When it's sunny out like it is today, they get to lay out here in the lot, sun themselves, and just grow fatter.